Welcome to the Nevis newscast for Thursday, September 28th, 2023. I am Fredicia Liebert. A special sitting of the Nevis Island Assembly was held on Thursday, September 28th in commemoration of the 40th anniversary of St. Kitts and Nevis's independence. The special sitting featured remarks by nominated members in the Nevis Island Assembly, the Honorable General Nisbet and the Honorable Troy Liebert. Elected members in the Nevis Island Assembly, the Honorable Spencer Brand, the Honorable Dr. Janice Daniel Hodge, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, the Honorable Cleon Stapleton Simmons, as well as Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley. They recounted their experiences as citizens of St. Kitts and Nevis over the past 40 years, the progress of the island's human resource, education, land, housing, infrastructural, social, sporting, healthcare, agricultural, cultural, tourism, youth, technology and economic development, the island's recovery from disasters, and expressed their visions and hopes for the island's future.
But I want to sound a word of warning to all of our people, Madam President, that we do not take this island and this country for granted. That we do not take the gains that we have made for granted. That we do not assume that aura of entitlement that some of us seem to have adopted. That we recognize that only through continued effort and continued commitment to nation building will we be able 40 years from now to say that this island and this country continue to progress from strength to strength. I salute Sir Simeon Daniel, father of Nevis. I salute him because it is his vision that all of us are today benefiting from. I salute those who have come after him here in Nevis and those on St. Kitts. I salute them all because it is important that we recognize that each and every one has made their contribution. And that thread of contribution woven together, those various strands are what create the tapestry of a strong St. Kitts and Nevis.
The Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis was granted independence from Great Britain on September 19, 1983. Former Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Joseph Parry, noted that the new constitution gave Nevis its own internal administration and the option to leave the Federation following a referendum on the island.
Between 1980 and 83, we went to work, led by Dr. Simeon Daniel, of course. Although he was in St. Kitts, he spent a lot of time in Nevis because, as he said to me, I prefer to work in Nevis than in St. Kitts. And so much work was done that by 1983 September, we had a civil service. We had permanent, they were not called permanent secretaries, they were called chief administrators. We had assistant secretaries. We had ministries. You had the Ministry of Agriculture. You had the Ministry of Communications. And you had the Premier's Ministry. Of course, you had your government, the House of Assembly. You had your members of the House of Assembly. And you had the Premier and his cabinet. To me, that was the greatest achievement. After 100 years, government came back to Nevis. We are not speaking about local council, because the local council was just a sop. But a government that could make laws, a government that could ensure that water is in the country, a government that could make policies for agriculture and for tourism, a government that could administer health and education, a government of which the people of Nevis can be proud, or could be proud.
The members of the Nevis Island Assembly also paid tribute to the country's past and present leaders, including the first Premier of Nevis and National Hero of St. Kitts and Nevis, the late, the Right Excellent Sir Simeon Daniel. Following Thursday's special sitting, wreaths were laid at the bust in Charlestown, which is in the likeness of the Right Excellent Sir Simeon Daniel, by President of the Nevis Island Assembly, the Honourable Michelle Clark, Premier Brantley, and Daniel's widow, Lady Sheila Daniel. 20 entrepreneurs on Nevis benefited from a one-day customer service skills training workshop hosted by the Premier's Ministry on Thursday, September 27th at the Malcolm Gishard Recreational Park. Organizer of the workshop, the Honourable Latoya Jones, Special Advisor to the Premier of Nevis, spoke on the objectives of the one-day workshop.
The facilitator of today's workshop is Mrs. Tricia Daniel, and she will cover the following topics: who are our customers, internal and external, communication and attitude, technology and customer service, dealing with difficult customers, making ethical decisions, and ways to wow your customers. At the end of this training, it is our hope that businesses will be able to create their customer service plan, which would enhance their overall growth, development, and success. The Customer Service Skills Training Workshop seeks to assist small and medium businesses in mapping out a good customer service plan. It also seeks to strengthen public-private partnership. The workshop was designed to educate businesses on the importance of having good customer service, how businesses can fulfill and address the needs of their customers, and provide effective solutions to their customers' problems. Also, how to effectively communicate and exhibit good behavior.
Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley, in delivering brief remarks, encouraged the participants to exhibit exceptional customer service.
How you interact with people is really sometimes the best indicator of whether your business will succeed or fail. A lot of us feel like, oh, you know, in my former life I was a lawyer, and I felt I was a good lawyer. I was well trained, had been to the best universities, and so you come and you put on your tie and you feel like you're a big shot. And when people come and they tell you something, you're like, oh, who are you to tell me that? I know my stuff, I know what I'm talking about. You know, I'm a hairdresser, I'm the best in Nevis, I do the best food in Nevis. It really doesn't matter. A lot of bright people fail. A lot of people with the most education in the world fail. Because at the end of the day, you cannot have a business without customers. And if your attitude is a bad attitude, no matter how good your food is, no matter how good you're at styling hair, makeup, or taking photographs, or doing tours, no matter how good you are, if your attitude is not the right attitude, people now come back with you. Good customer service translates into successful business. And good customer service, there are a number of things you can do. But people remember how you make them feel. And if you make them feel good, even if you're telling them no, if you tell them no in a way, you know, somebody comes and they want this, you say, oh my goodness, I don't have that today, I'm so sorry, but could I offer you something else?
Premier of Nevis, the Honourable Mark Brantley. Still to come,
whatever you can provide in terms of training, we are looking forward for that to continue as we push to provide that push in agriculture.
The details right after this break.
Taxes are the lifeblood of a nation. Feel good about what your tax dollars do in Nevis. As a responsible citizen, your tax dollars protect our environment. Pay your taxes on time. This message was brought to you by the Inland Revenue Department, Nevis.
Be a responsible citizen.
Welcome back. The Inter-American Institute for Cooperation on Agriculture, ICA, on Tuesday, September 26th, hosted its annual accountability exercise at the Marriott Hotel on St. Kitts. The exercise was attended by representatives of the Ministries of Agriculture on both St. Kitts and Nevis, as well as stakeholders including Permanent Secretary of Health in the Nevis Island Administration, Shalissa Martin-Clark. In making remarks at the ceremony, Nevis's Minister of Agriculture, the Honorable Eric Evelyn, underscored the importance of ICA to the agricultural sector, particularly on Nevis.
When we look at what has happened over the years in agriculture in Nevis, in the agro-processing sector, when we look at what has taken place in the meat processing area, when we look at what has taken place in the shade house production area, I could recall when I became the Permanent Secretary in Agriculture, we had numerous issues with one of our shade houses on the island of Nevis, and ICA was there, willing, ready, and able to assist us. They came to our rescue, and that particular shade house now continues to be productive because of the exploits of ICA.
Also addressing the gathering were ICA representative for the Eastern Caribbean states, Greg Rollins, and Permanent Secretary in the Ministry of Agriculture in St. Kitts, Miguel Fleming. The session honored former Executive Secretary Ingrid Green Mills and featured a presentation from St. Kitts Nevis ICA representative Sharon Jones. Following her presentation, the annual report was ceremoniously handed over to the Honorable Eric Evelyn.
As I looked at the ICA annual report here for 2023 and I look at the mission statement, stimulate, promote and support the efforts of member states to achieve their agricultural development and rural well-being through excellent international technical cooperation. Mr. Rollins, Ms. Jones, I think ICA has done that and more over the years, and we're looking forward for that to continue. You have stimulated, you have promoted, and you have supported the industry in the Federation of St. Kitts and Nevis.
Following the formal presentation, a robust discussion took place looking at issues facing the agricultural sector in the Federation.
As a government in Nevis and as a federal government, we do not have all resources to ensure that we grow agriculture the way we ought to. And so we will be looking forward to that continued support in capacity building, whatever you can provide in terms of funding, whatever you can provide in terms of training. We are looking forward for that to continue as we provide that push in agriculture.
Tuesday's ceremony was chaired and moderated by Nevis's Director of Agriculture, Randy Elliott. Work continues on the Stuart Williams Drive. The road rehabilitation project is being undertaken by Surrey Paving and Aggregates Caribbean Limited.
And rehabilitation reconstruction has been ongoing on the Charlestown Pinnies Bypass Road. That project, as you know, was contracted out. If you're driving it now, it almost looks like it's ready because they have stripped most of it and the surface is already better than it was. So lots of complaints about the condition of that road. We have heard the complaints. We're fixing that road. They've given us a schedule of 100 days. They say we will see whether or not they achieve that, but quite a lot of work is going on already. I'm told approximately half a kilometer of that road is being prepped for asphalting already. So the company is moving quite quickly. They are doing some concrete drain construction on the pump road. Drainage systems and structures are currently under construction in the area of the Observer Building and Zone 1 Auto Parts Store.
Premier of Nevis, the Honorable Mark Brantley, gave an update on the project at his Tuesday, September 26th press conference. That's it for this edition of the Nevis Newscast. On behalf of all of us here at the Department of Information, I'm Freddie Silibird. Thank you for viewing.